does use some other languages, French and Spanish, just to name two. The perfect nest. Here's one of the fun things that happens just lately at the Science Center as it relates to reading. I've been reading a book on Wednesday, and wouldn't you know it comes to Thursday, and the next person doing the show, whether it's Ryan or Angie or somebody else, sometimes they pick the exact same, let's call it a theme. They pick the same theme. They go, hey, I think I'll make my show line up with your story. And then they do that. I'm really going to put them to the test this time because this one will be tough. It's total fantasy. Yep, they might talk about how do rabbits actually eat eggs. There's cats eating eggs in this story. Well, they want to eat eggs in this story. They don't actually eat the eggs. There's a cat that wants to eat an omelet. And would a cat eat an omelet? I wonder if Angie will do a show tomorrow on whether cats actually want to eat omelets or not. Or I wonder if Ryan will do a story that has something to do with eggs as they're related to cats. Actually, I think the best thing happens on the last page of this book. So hang on to the last page of this book. We read here every single Wednesday at 3:30. It's a book. This one is from the from the Bemidji Library. And I read to Orion. We've been doing this for over a year now. And Orion made a rule at the very beginning of the year. No books about large carnivores. None. He doesn't like large carnivores. Ryan, there's a cat in this book. It is. And a cat counts as a large carnivore, even though they're not very big. Would a cat attack a bunny? Maybe. This cat wouldn't. I'm just going to tell you, this cat wouldn't. The cat in this story ends up being just the kindest cat there ever was. You'll find out. There are no rabbits in this story. So, hang in there, Orion. I still like this story a lot. So, what's happening? We're open every single day. 9:30 to 5 o'clock, except on Sundays. We wait until 1 o'clock to open on Sundays, and we still close at 5. So that's Monday through Saturday, 9:30 to 5, Sundays, 1 to 5. We do have some guests here, and I think I can read this story pretty well with my mask on, so I'm going to keep it on while I read you The Perfect Nest. The Perfect Nest by Catherine Friend. It's illustrated by John Manders. Would you like to have the last name of Friend? Yeah, that'd be kind of a cool last name. Catherine Friend wrote this book. It's called The Perfect Nest. Here we go. Hope you enjoy it. The illustrations are fantastic. So you're going to want to go get the book just for the illustrations. They won't show up so great on our camera. So you're going to want to go get the book yourself. I'll get it back as fast as I possibly can. Here he is. What's he doing? What's he doing over here? Yes, he's stealing a pillow. Yes, he's stealing a pillow. I'm going to call it stealing. What's he doing over here? That cow, he's stealing some hay or straw. And what happened over here? It's a basket. Probably was that dog's basket. He's stealing the basket. Jack the cat gathered together everything he needed, then built the perfect nest, dry and cozy and just the right size. But the nest was not for Jack. With this perfect nest, he would attract a perfect chicken who would lay a perfect egg, which would make a perfect omelet for a cat like Jack. Soon enough, a chicken came along. Can you read the welcome sign? Welcome. Caramba. Okay, that's Spanish. Caramba, she cried, a perfect nest. She hopped up and laid a small egg. Then a duck waddled by. Sacre bleu, she cried. The perfect nest. That's my best French. The duck pushed the chicken out, hopped up, and laid a medium-sized egg. Then a goose lumbered by. Great balls of fire, she cried, a perfect nest. Okay, what language is great balls of fire? Well, it's definitely English. I'm just going to say it's not Minnesotan. Because I've never heard a Minnesotan say, "Great balls of fire." The goose pushed the duck out, hopped up, and laid a large egg. Welcome. Kicked out the duck. Who kicked out the chicken? Jack's mouth began to water. 3 eggs would make 3 omelets. But then the duck leaped onto the goose's back. "This is my nest." The chicken flew up onto the duck. "No, this is my nest." The 3 cackled and quacked and honked, but each refused to leave the perfect nest. They squished each other for days. How many days, maybe you would ask? How many days? There's a little science you could do. How many days did this go on? Each day, Jack tried to get the birds off the nest. "Fire! Fire!" he cried. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to cause any alarm. You shouldn't yell fire inside a building, but it is in the book. So, "Fire! Fire!" he cried. They didn't move. "Flood! Flood!" he cried. They didn't move. "Wolf! Wolf!" he cried. But the chicken, the duck, and the goose would not move. Finally, Jack stood before them. "You birds are so silly. The next farm over has even a better nest, and it's empty. Why doesn't one of you use that nest?" "An empty nest?" cried the chicken. "Without a goose to sit on my head? Caramba!" "Sacre bleu!" cried the duck. "I am tired of smelling the chicken. That nest is mine." "Great balls of fire!" cried the goose. "Out of my way!" And they all flapped away. All right, gotta pull in really close. Really close. Look at the eggs. Look at the eggs. Look at one of the eggs in particular. I hope you see what I see. Alone at last, Jack returned to the nest and peeked inside. He arranged the eggs neatly in a row. Small breakfast, medium lunch, and large dinner. Jack's stomach rumbled. But then... So we might want to go back to that question as to how long did that all take? All of that went on for how long? Because, crack! The small egg broke. Open and out popped a wet baby chick, who looked up at Jack and said, "Caramba! Hola, mama!" That's my Spanish. Crackety snap! The medium-sized egg broke open, and out scrambled a wet baby duck, who looked up at Jack and said, "Sacre bleu! Bonjour, maman!" Crackety, crackety, boom! The largest egg broke open, and out stepped a wet baby goose, who looked up at Jack and said, can you guess? Of course, "Great balls of fire! Howdy, Ma!" Do we say howdy, Ma, in Minnesota? Not very often do we say howdy, Ma. Jack stared at the babies. What was he to do? He couldn't make omelets out of them. See, I told you that Jack is a very nice cat. So he's not going to make the 3 into lunch, dinner, and supper. Dry me, cried the soggy baby chick. Feed me, feed me, feed me, cried the hungry baby duck. Play, 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 cried the excited baby goose. Jack hid in the barn. The 3 babies found him. He hid in the woods. The 3 babies found him. He hid under the tractor. The babies found him and dragged him back to the nest. They're dragging. Sleep, 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 the tired babies finally whispered. Cold, 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 said the shivering babies. Jack scratched his head. Someone had to care for these babies, but there was no one else around. Jack lifted all 3 babies into the nest. Buenas noches, said the baby chick. Oh, sorry, I left out one word. Buenas noches, mama, said the baby chick. Bonne nuit, maman, said the baby duck. Sweet dreams, ma, said the baby goose. All right, I think I just delivered what tomorrow's show could be about, because each one of them is referring to Jack the cat as the mother. Then Jack climbed into the nest and the babies fell asleep. That's when he realized that this really was the perfect nest. Okay, that's our story for today. And really want to appreciate you joining us today.
Those birds were fighting. Do you want to know how long those birds were fighting over the nest?
Yes, I do.
At least 21 days. Probably closer to 28 days.
Yes, because that's the length of time it would take for those eggs to hatch. And I suppose there's a bit of a difference between chickens, ducks, and geese. There would be. All right, we might now have a little bit of a clue as to what tomorrow's show could be, because who knows? Knowing Angie, she might wander off into how long does it take for owls, eagles, hawks, falcons. Who knows? And what I think would be really interesting would be, why are they calling Jack Mama?